Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate, presented by the Cisneros Realty Group at Keller Williams, servicing the New Hampshire Lakes and White Mountains regions. Today's show is sponsored by Blue Water Mortgage, Summit Title, and Allstate Insurance, the Joe Suazo office in Derry, New Hampshire. Time to join our host and Let's Talk Real Estate on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio, Lakes Region.
And good morning. My name is Karina Cisneros, realtor with Keller Williams Lakes and Mountain Realty in Meredith, New Hampshire. Our show focuses on all aspects of real estate, and in the next 30 minutes, we will give you important information that will help you with either buying or selling your home. Today, I am joined by Jamie Irving. He is permit coordinator with Watermark Marine Construction. He also has a master's in environmental sciences. Welcome, Jamie, to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We have Jamie here because he's an expert in permitting for docks and everything to do with lakes and construction. And I have a couple of very important questions that I need to ask him as a realtor. But before we go into those details, tell me briefly, what is Watermark? What do they do?
Sure. Watermark Marine Construction has been in service since 1990. Our main focus is marine construction, obviously. But underneath the umbrella of Watermark is there are three other companies. So that's Watermark Marine Construction. There is Watermark Marine Supply, which is your rafts, your T-shirts, and every other boating accessory that you might want. The other company is Clearwater Construction, residential home builders, and then the last company is Central NH Divers, and so we're a full-service scuba company, all in the same location on Union Avenue.
Okay, phenomenal. Okay, so you've been established for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay. Us realtors always have buyers and sellers on the water, especially in the Lakes region. And whenever I have a question that I need to find an answer for my buyer client, Jamie's my first call. All right. So, Jamie, when considering buying a lakefront property, what should potential buyers consider regarding docks, beaches, or boathouses?
That's a great question. Really, from any seller's point of view or buyer's point of view, what they really want to be focused on is the history of whatever that is, whether it's a dock, a boathouse, a beach. There are two ways that any of those structures can be referenced historically, and that's either through a permitting history through the Department of Environmental Services, or it can be considered as grandfathered. So either one of those things would suffice for our purposes going for further in either reconstruction or additions, modifications, reconfigurations, things like that.
Okay, thanks for listening this morning. This is Let's Talk Real Estate on WEEI 101.5 Sports Radio Lakes Region, and my name is Karina. We're here with Jamie Irving from Watermark. Okay, Jamie, what's involved with permitting? Is it complicated?
To most people, absolutely, yes.
It's terrifying.
It can be. It can be very intimidating.
Because it could be the factor in the value of a property. Because
Absolutely.
if it doesn't have the right permitting and you can't have a dock or a slip or whatever, then the value of that property can suffer.
Absolutely could.
So tell us, what's involved in permitting and is it complicated?
So basically, in a nutshell, every structure that you do on the shoreline, again, whether it's a dock, boathouse, beach, breakwater, requires some sort of permit. There are a couple different categories. We shouldn't go too much into that because there's a lot of detail involved. But basically, it requires applying to the state. It takes time. So what's one of our main recommendations to anybody is you start early. That way you can get a good jump on it.
So do you do permitting for clients so they don't do it themselves?
Precisely. Yeah, we're a full turnkey business. Yeah.
Full turnkey business. Okay. All right. So what services, when you say turnkey, so what services can Watermark Marine Construction, the construction part of your business, help with for property owners that have waterfront?
So when someone purchases a waterfront property, they can call us. We'll do a free site visit. We'll do a free consult.
You do it before the purchase. Sometimes.
Preferably not. It's always best when we're applying in the owner's name.
Oh, I see. But in the case where I have a buyer that we need some information or help, we can still call you, right?
You could call us, absolutely, and we could tell you what would be permissible on that property, given the frontage, given the exposure, so on and so forth.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the services.
So, so basically what we would do is we can arrange for a time to meet on site with the owner, or we can go without. But basically what we're looking at is how much frontage there is, what the exposure to the open water is, and then we'll help that owner design the best use and the best structures for that property to take full advantage of the waterfront.
Okay, here's a silly question, but like perhaps me, some at least me anyway. What is the difference between a dock and a slip?
So 99% of the time, all slips are adjacent to a dock. They're not one and the same. But with, for example, a single dock, you're allowed 2 boat slips. There's going to be one on either side. And then based on the frontage you can have more docks, more slips.
Okay, it's time to take a break and hear from our sponsors. And remember, the video and podcasts of all our shows are available on letstalkrealestatenh.podbean.com. Thank you for listening this morning. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Real Estate after this on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio Lakes Region.
Buying and selling real estate is hard, but it doesn't have to be when you partner with an agent that has a proven track record of success. The Cisneros Realty Group at Keller Williams Lakes and Mountains Realty in Meredith helps you fulfill your homeownership dreams through a caring and trusting relationship. They provide exceptional service and advocate for your best interests. The Cisneros Realty Group is your trusted real estate advisor, creating a long-standing relationship now and in the future.
Hi, this is Karina Cisneros from Keller Williams Lakes and Mountain Realty in Meredith. For many years, clients have been putting their trust in me and my full service team. We dedicate ourselves to getting you the most for your home. Remember my name, Karina, like the song, Karina, Karina.
Turbocharge the sale of your home with the professionals at the Cisneros Realty Group, part of Keller Williams Lakes and Mountains, 66 Route 25, Meredith, New Hampshire. Experience and integrity you can trust. The Cisneros Realty Group, online at nhlakeshomes.com.
Put your trust in Blue Water Mortgage when you purchase your new home. Jonathan Ferrante works hard for you with premium service and integrity. Jonathan provides competitive rates and great loan programs to fit your needs. Purchasing, renovating, or refinancing, Jonathan can expertly guide you through the maze of options to find you the right mortgage for you. Blue Water Mortgage, your dedicated mortgage broker. NMLS number 1291. Jonathan Ferrante, NMLS number 1694126. Contact Jonathan directly at 813-267-4369.
This is Let's Talk Real Estate with Karina Cisneros on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio Lakes Region. Once again, here's Karina.
Good morning. This is Karina Cisneros, and we're back with Jamie Irving of Watermark Marine Construction. Okay, Jamie, as a realtor, I represent buyers and sellers of waterfront property all the time. What should a buyer or seller be thinking about when they're either about to sell or buy?
That's a great question. There is no need to be nervous, though. One of the things that both sellers and buyers should be aware of is what the permit history is of their dock. There's an easy way to look into that. So Department of Environmental Services actually provides what's called the permit query. And so you can go onto this website, type in the town and the current owner's name, and that will spit out or generate any permit history that property has for any dock, boathouse, or beach, and something like that. And there's no real worry about doing that.
So let's say a seller has a waterfront property. They've owned it for years. In their mind, everything's great. Everything's permitted. But
due diligence in that case is to hear what they have to say, see if they have any records. If they don't, then you go into that permit query at the Department of Environmental Services and you look, and if they sold out in the recent years, look at the previous owner. And you can actually trace those records all the way back, basically into the 70s and 80s.
So what happens if a dock wasn't permitted for some reason, no malice, just whatever,
right.
and then we discover through the process of discovery, through the pre-purchase inspection or the purchase process, that it's not. Now, what happens? What's the recourse?
If that dock's not permitted and it wasn't old enough to be considered grandfathered, so there is no history available, and it was built in a configuration or dimensions that aren't allowed, well, then you're in kind of a pickle there. Because, say, for example, it's a permanent dock and it needs to be rebuilt, but it needs a permit to be rebuilt.
Wait.
You're kind of stuck.
As a realtor, we don't like the word pickle.
Okay. You're in a jam.
We don't like that word either. We don't want to be in a jam. We want to help our clients.
Absolutely.
Do what's in their best interest.
You can almost always do something, but if there is no permit history and there's no grandfather history, and that dock was built to dimensions that are not allowed, then you might have to think about other alternatives. So a different type of dock, perhaps. Or different dimensions.
So let's say Watermark gets involved. They discover through meaning the buyer seller due diligence, there's a permit issue. You most likely will have a way to solve it, probably.
We'll almost always have a way to solve the problem. It might not look exactly. The solution might not be exactly what's there now or there currently. We might have to think outside the box.
Give us an example of one of those situations that was just terrible and
it has happened.
And how to avoid it.
Yeah, it has happened, and it all goes back to due diligence. We had a customer that actually bought a dock, and the dock was a permanent dock. It was not grandfathered, not permitted, and exactly that. It got hit by ice, needed to be repaired, but we couldn't repair that dock without a permit. So now if we apply for that permit, the DES is going to actually say you need to remove it. So that's what you want to avoid.
Okay. We are here with Jamie Irving from Watermark. It's time to take a break and hear from our sponsors. And remember, the video and podcast of all our shows are available on letstalkrealestatenh.podbean.com. Thank you for listening this morning. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Real Estate after this on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio Lakes Region.
Let's Talk Real Estate is presented by the Cisneros Realty Group and sponsored by Blue Water Mortgage, Summit Title, and Allstate Insurance, the Joe Suazo office in Derry, New Hampshire. Let's Talk Real Estate is a production of Modern Media LLC, CRG TV, and MR Strategic Alliance LLC, all rights reserved. Join us every Saturday morning at 8:30 and Let's Talk Real Estate with Karina Cisneros, Realtor, on WEEI 101.5 Sports Radio Lakes Region.